Hello everyone, this is Jason Merkel with Horizon Hobby, and we're out at Eli Field today, which is an RC Club flying field. We'll talk about that here in a minute to show you guys something very exciting. This is the E-flite Habu STS 70mm EDF. And real quick, I'll mention that STS stands for Smart Trainer with Safe. And so some of you watching this video, you might be new to the hobby. That's awesome. Thanks for joining us. There's our other guys that are watching this video that are going to look at this airplane and go, okay, that's a jet. And traditionally in our hobby, jets have not been good trainers. Really, they've never been trainers at all. But what's exciting about this airplane is we took an aircraft design that we had for a number of years now, and that was the Habu platform, and we optimized the design. We changed it to where the aircraft itself is as easy to fly as a traditional trainer, yet looks, sounds, and flies a lot like a jet. So for someone that's new to the hobby, you may be looking at this going, that is really cool looking. I would love to start with a jet. And now you actually can. So in years past, jets were always much harder to fly than a traditional RC aircraft or a traditional RC aircraft trainer. With this aircraft, we changed the wing design, we lengthened the fuselage, we changed some other design elements to make it easier handling for a beginner first-time RC pilot. So what's nice about it is you can land as slow, which is traditionally one of the more difficult things with a jet aircraft in particular. You can fly it around at a slower speed, which also is helpful when you're learning how to fly. Jets traditionally are faster. Typically they land faster, but this airplane, although it can fly at high speeds as well, it can fly around much slower and it lands much slower than a traditional RC jet aircraft. So a lot of really exciting design features here. We'll talk about those more in a moment. But first I want to talk a little bit about, if you're new to the hobby, you may see some terms that you're not familiar with. So first and foremost, a lot of our aircraft are available in multiple completion levels. So in a completion level, we're talking about what's basically inside the box, either what's included to complete it or what you need to buy to complete it. So this particular model we offer in two completion levels. We have an RTF, which stands for Ready to Fly version, and then we have a PNP, which stands for Plug and Play version. Now, if you're new to the hobby, you're only really going to be interested in the Ready to Fly version. That basically includes everything that you need. So it has the controller, it comes with a battery, it comes with a charger, it comes with the airplane itself. All of the electronics are already installed in the airplane. The airplane is mostly factory assembled. You basically pull it out of the box, use some typical standard tools, Phillips screwdriver, for example. You don't need any glue. You don't have to do any cutting or sanding or painting or anything like that. It's very, very quick and easy to put together. And again, when you buy the Ready to Fly version, you don't have to buy anything else. The transmitter, it even comes with the AA batteries that go inside the transmitter. So that's the package that you're going to want to get if you're a first-time pilot. If you're an experienced pilot, you may buy the Ready to Fly version because it's very, very convenient and includes everything that you need. But at the same time, the plug and play version is really more for a person who's been in the hobby before. Maybe they already own a controller, they already own a battery, a charger, a receiver. So the plug and play version is basically just the airplane with the servos installed. Those are the electronic parts that move the control surfaces. It has the motor installed, the fan unit installed, and the electronic speed control. So with the plug and play version, you do need at a minimum a 4-channel receiver. You will also then need a 4-channel minimum controller, a 3 or 4 cell battery, all the way from a 3200 up to a 4000. And then of course you will need a charger as well. So again, if you're new to the hobby, if you're a beginner, you're really gonna want to focus on the Ready to Fly package because it includes everything that you need. And then before we get too far into things, I wanna talk about a really exciting bonus that we include with the Ready to Fly version. Now, when you guys are seeing this video, when this video is published and this product is first released, this will be included. We may not include it forever. At the moment, it is a bonus, but basically we are including a copy of Real Flight Trainer Edition. Real Flight, #1 flight simulator in the world. The trainer edition of that software has 6 of our most popular trainer aircraft, 1 helicopter and 5 airplanes. The Habu STS is in the trainer edition of Real Flight. So what's really awesome about that is using a PC computer, a laptop, a desktop, using the instruction sheet that we give you, which includes a Steam code here that you go to Steam, which is a very popular online platform for downloading games from. You go there, you download the software, you input this code, and it will activate on your computer. And then the exciting thing is we also include this Spektrum USB wireless dongle, which you can see, I'm just gonna plug it right here into my USB port on my laptop. And now I can use the controller that comes with the Ready to Fly version airplane to fly the simulator version of the Habu right here on my simulator. So if you have a laptop, you can basically fly anywhere. If you have a desktop at home, you can fly at home. One nice thing, of course, about a laptop in particular, if you have an HDMI output, which I do on this one, I can actually plug this into a big screen TV and fly it that way. And so you guys may not be able to see this in the video, but I'm basically flying the Habu that you guys see on the table here. It's modeled in the simulator, flies just like the real thing. I'm actually flying it at E-flite Field, which is where we are right now, which is really cool. That is the field that's included in the simulator. And so you can practice flying the real airplane on the simulator, at home, anywhere else basically, if you've got a laptop, before you ever go out and fly the actual airplane. So that's a really, really exciting feature, again, of the Ready to Fly package. It may be a temporary bonus that we don't include forever, so make sure you check for it, make sure you get one as soon as you can, so you do get that in the box. The RealFlight Trainer Edition software is available separately for $39.99, so about $40 US. The dongle is also a $39.99, $40 US value, so it's basically almost an $80 combined value that we're including when you buy the Ready to Fly package. So that's really, really awesome feature. Also within Trainer Edition, there are virtual flight instructor lessons with the Habu in particular, where the instructor will take you all the way from explaining the basic controls that are on the controller, what's left and right, what's up and down. It will walk you through those steps, show you how to drive on the ground or taxi, how to take off, fly around, and then ultimately how to land. So all of those virtual flight instructor lessons are included in the simulator, so you can practice flying at home before you got to the field and fly the actual airplane. And then what's really awesome about this airplane, and a part of why we call it a smart trainer with SAFE, is that it does include our SAFE technology. So SAFE technology is basically a stabilization technology that has 3 flight modes. So when you buy the Ready to Fly version airplane, there's a switch here on the transmitter that has the beginner flight mode, an intermediate flight mode, and an experienced flight mode. So in the beginner flight mode, SAFE will actually prevent the airplane from rolling too far or pitching up or down too far. So it has what we call bank angle limits and pitch angle limits. The nice thing about those limits are, even if you hold the stick into the corner, the airplane won't flip over upside down and crash, which is how a lot of people end up crashing the first few times they fly. So in the beginner mode, it's very, very easy to fly because you can't get it upside down, you can't crash, and then when you let go of this main control stick, the airplane goes back to level immediately. So it makes it very, very easy to fly. It's almost as simple as driving a car in the sky. So the beginner mode is extremely easy, it makes takeoffs very easy, makes landings very easy, it makes flying around very easy. And then when you flip that switch to the middle position, you're now in the intermediate flight mode. In the intermediate mode, we still have the bank angle limits and the pitch angle limits. The difference is you now can bank further. So you can make tighter turns, you can pitch up more, you can pitch down more. So basically it's a next step beyond obviously the beginner mode. It's kind of like training wheels. Beginner mode is your training wheels all the way down on your bike against the ground. You can raise your training wheels up in intermediate mode so you can lean the bike over more. Same thing with the airplane in intermediate mode. And then if you flip to the experienced flight mode, there's no limits at all. So if you're an experienced pilot or if you're a new pilot that's making your way up in your skill level, in the experienced flight mode, you can fly the airplane upside down, you can do loops, you can do rolls, you can do aerobatic maneuvers, you can turn extremely tight. And so there, again, are no limitations in that flight mode. We do also have our AS3X technology active in that mode, which are 3-axis gyros to help smooth the airplane out in the wind. So that's a really nice touch, especially for an experienced pilot. And then if you ever get in trouble, even in the experienced flight mode or in the intermediate mode, we also have a button on the transmitter that's included with the Ready to Fly version. That's our panic recovery button. You press that button and the airplane will immediately go back to level for a few seconds before reverting back to the mode you were in. The other option is you can basically flip that switch back to the beginner mode, the airplane will level off, and then you'll be back in the beginner mode, which makes it much easier to fly again. So really awesome that we have that SAFE technology built into the airplane, of course. And then with the Ready to Fly version, we do include this Spektrum DXS Smart transmitter. And so what's exciting about this transmitter is that obviously it has all the controls that you need to fly the airplane. So you have your basic functions, you have your flight mode switch, we have your dual rate switch here, which is basically more control or less control, so you can either bank more or less in the beginner mode, or in the experienced mode you can roll faster or pitch up more, so on and so forth. We also have a switch here for throttle cut, so when you move this switch to the front, the motor will not run when you bump the throttle stick, so that's good for safety. And then on top of that, we also have on the front here, you guys may not be able to see this in the video, we've got the Spektrum bars here. When they're lit up, that shows you that the transmitter is turned on, but there's 4 LEDs, little green LEDs on the front of the transmitter here, which are connected to the flight controller inside the airplane, the receiver in the airplane, which is then connected to the ESC, and that is then connected to your flight battery. And while you're flying, these LEDs will indicate the approximate amount of battery power that you have left. So this is a really exciting feature, something that we really haven't had a lot of in our hobby until very recently. And what's nice is that you can just be flying the airplane in the sky. You can take a quick glance down at your controller and you can see how many lights are left. Obviously, when it's fully charged, all 4 lights are on. When it's about 75% charged, you've got 3 lights, half charged, 2 lights, so on and so forth. When you get down to the last light, before you go too far, there will be an audible alert at the transmitter to explain to you, or basically to help you understand, that the battery is getting low and that you should land soon. So that alert will go off in your transmitter one time while you're flying. When you hear that alert in your transmitter, it's a good time to set up for a landing. You still have a little bit of time left to fly before the low voltage cutoff that we have in the ESC kicks in. The low voltage cutoff will basically pulse the motor to help you understand and hear from the airplane that the battery is too low and you need to land. But really, you want to listen for that alert on your transmitter. Once you hear that, set up for a landing and make a landing. And then flight time is very dependent on how you fly. So if you use more power, you'll get less flight time. If you use a bigger battery, you'll get more flight time, so on and so forth. But the nice thing about that smart technology is that you don't have to necessarily set a timer. Now, it is helpful to set a timer if you can. We typically recommend setting a timer for roughly 5 to 7 minutes. You can fly a little bit longer, again, if you fly slower, if you're using a bigger battery. But again, it's really awesome to have those LED indications, that audible indication through the smart transmitter here that's directly connected to the airplane. And again, that comes in the Ready to Fly package. So next we'll talk about the batteries. So in our hobby, we use rechargeable lithium polymer batteries to power our aircraft. They're very high energy density, very, very powerful batteries. What's awesome about them is that we are actually, in the Ready to Fly version, we include a Spektrum Smart LiPo battery. And so smart batteries are easier to use and safer to use than traditional lithium polymer batteries. A lithium polymer battery has a lot of energy packed inside. If you charge it incorrectly, you can have some safety issues. So with the smart battery and a smart charger, you don't have to know how to set the charger appropriately. The charger, when you plug in the battery, it has a microchip in the battery that tells the charger what settings to use to charge safely, to charge reliably. So in the Ready to Fly version, we have the Spektrum Smart S120 USB charger. So you guys can see it comes with a USB lead here. You can basically power this from any USB power source. So you can use a laptop. It'll take a long time to charge if you do that. We strongly recommend using obviously an AC brick, kind of like a phone charger or a tablet charger. That'll help speed things up. And so that is included in the package. You can of course also then charge even in your car if you have a USB outlet or a USB charge port in your car as well. Again, it will take a little bit longer if you're using a power supply like that. So we do typically recommend potentially upgrading your battery charger. So in this case, we're showing you a Spektrum Smart S1100 charger. This is an AC charger, so you can very conveniently power it from any AC power source. It does have a computer screen, which indicates a lot of information here. It'll show you the voltage of the battery, how many cycles are on the battery, how much capacity you put back into the battery when you charge it. So this is a big step up in charger. We also have a number of Spektrum Smart chargers available, all the way from our S150, which is a very popular low-cost model for about $29.99. That's an AC-DC charger, and then all the way up to some other high-end dual-port AC chargers, so on and so forth. So be sure to check out our website to see those. And then if you upgrade your battery, because we do have that option, if you upgrade from the 3-cell 4,000 milliamp battery that's included with the Ready to Fly version, and you want to have a little bit more power and speed, especially once you learn how to fly, you can buy a 4S 4,000 milliamp battery. Now, the S120 charger that's included with the Ready to Fly version does not charge 4S batteries. It's up to 3-cell batteries max. So if you do upgrade your battery, you will also have to upgrade your charger. But that's not uncommon for a lot of people to buy a more powerful, more capable charger, and then to buy, obviously, more powerful, longer lasting batteries as well. So the power system that's installed in this airplane is compatible, again, with 3-cell and 4-cell batteries right out of the box. You don't have to change anything. Now, when you're first learning to fly, you don't need more power and speed. The 3-cell batteries work just fine. Again, the 4,000 milliamp is what we include. The 3,200 milliamp batteries that we sell, which are also popular for some of our other trainer aircraft work, so either the 3-cell 3,200 we have here, or the 4-cell 3,200 we have here as well, or again, the 4,000 milliamp, which gives you a little bit more flying time, a little bit more power overall. So those batteries all fit very nicely in the battery compartment here, which we have the hatch. It's got a push button here. You pop that off, and then you guys can see you can put the battery inside the compartment there. Very simple, quick and easy to change out. Really exciting. So we've got not only smart in the transmitter, we obviously have a smart battery and a smart charger. And then we have the telemetry capable ESC that's going through our smart receiver and our flight controller. So that's again why we call this a smart trainer with safe. Not only is the aircraft itself very, very unique, but we also have a lot of technology that makes for a better, smarter, more connected experience. So something else that we have available as an option for this airplane is our landing assist sensor, or LAS for short. So when you're first learning how to fly, learning to land is by far the hardest part of learning to fly successfully. So when you're in the beginner flight mode, this airplane is very, very easy to land. That said, one of the hardest things when you're landing is right when you get close to the ground, flaring, get the nose up a little bit to make a nice smooth landing instead of bouncing or even potentially coming down too hard and flipping the airplane over on the runway. So the LAS sensor, it's optional. It just goes right on the bottom of the airplane here. There's a plastic piece here that you pop out, and then you can basically run the wire inside, pop this into place. And with the landing assist sensor installed, when you're in the beginner mode or in the intermediate mode, when you're coming in for a landing, it will see the ground and it will flare for you. It will help lift the nose up for you and set the airplane down, makes a nice smooth landing. Honestly, it's smoother than a lot of us experienced guys can do, but that does help you in your first early flights, especially when you're in the experienced flight mode. Even if you have the LAS installed, it is turned off. So it won't be activated when you're in the experienced mode. And you can easily take this out after you learn how to fly successfully and you don't feel like you need it anymore. Or again, in the experienced flight mode, it is disabled. So that is available separately. We do have as an option part for some other models as well. Be sure to check out our website. You'll be able to see the LAS. You'll see our recommended option batteries and option chargers. All of that will be there. And again, very exciting. This airplane is a jet, but you can learn to fly on it. So that's not something that's ever really been possible in our hobby before. Jets are cool, they sound cool, they look cool, they can fly faster, and traditionally that makes them harder to fly, but not this airplane. I've been flying for a very, very long time. I've flown a lot of the training aircraft that have been out there over the years, and I was absolutely blown away when I had an opportunity to fly this. This is just as easy to fly as most traditional trainer aircraft, but it sure looks a lot cooler, it sure sounds a lot cooler. It makes me feel a lot cooler when I'm flying it. So be sure to check it out. Also take a look at our Flight Talk video where we fly the airplane. We talk a little bit about it in that as well. And also be sure to check out our website for more details. Thank you.